Greetings and welcome to my vocal tip of the week. So there's a progression in jazz standards that comes up a lot in many of our favorite tunes. And today I want to explore a little bit of improv licks for vocalists, specifically in the jazz style, thinking about jazz phrasing and vocal licks that we also share with trumpet players and horn players, guitarists, bass players. And this is something that is good to know when you are in a jam, excuse the pun, in a good way, or when you feel like you just want to freestyle, improvise, and jump in with the band. So today's tune that I've chosen is one of my favorites, slightly lesser known American standard called Close Enough for Love. And it was written by Johnny Mandel, lyrics by Paul Williams, and made famous by Vanessa Rubin, who's one of my favorite American jazz vocalists on the scene today. So if you listen to the sound of a classic turnaround, we call it. It's as old as the hills. You'll recognize the sound of it. If you've never really tuned into piano or guitar parts, then this is a good time to, as a vocalist and a vocal student specifically, to start thinking about your music the way that any instrumentalist would in terms of approach. Not just thinking about the melody of the head of the tune, but also engaging with the mechanics of how the chordal structure works underneath. So here's your little ditty, very well known. It's very familiar to all of us. Da da dee ba da dee ba da dee da da ba da dee da dee dwee ba da dee da da. You know that one? Now the origin of the 1-6-2-5 turnaround would obviously be from the show tune called I Got Rhythm from American in Paris. I got rhythm, I got music, I got my man who could ask for anything more. So that is a very familiar lick or turnaround. Now in Close Enough for Love, when you get to the end of the A, you'll find that you are running into that particular turnaround to take you back to the top. And while you are improvising over this, why waste time and let it run with no notes inside it? It's a perfect opportunity to get your lick in there before you go back to the second A. And so I wanted to just explore as one of your options, and also thinking about which is I Got Rhythm. So you're quoting, and there's nothing wrong with stealing a line from a few tunes, especially as a singer or vocalist, because you want it to be a melodic, lyrical line. It doesn't have to be incredibly complex. It can be quite simple, but it's quite fun for your audience who is a jazz fanatic or a fan to be able to recognize those little lines inside it. So this is for you to play around with today. In terms of jazz scat syllables, there are many you can choose. If you like to just play with something simple, you can start with a do or a ba or a way sound, and those three usually work pretty well. And that was my little vocal tip for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it sparked something for you to go and explore your favorite jazz standard and find those 1-6-2-5 progressions in your music. I'd love to hear some feedback or some tips from you. So in order to connect, please do support by subscribing to my YouTube channel.